Hello everyone, welcome to yet another exciting journey with Urbanscape Bangalore, and in today's episode we will be learning about how to propagate an orchid. So orchids are a tropical variety and they are very sought after because of their exquisite and beautiful flowers that last really long. The other thing about the orchids is that it is quite rare to find the orchids, hence the garden centers levy a heavy charge on orchids. So if you have orchids in your house, then you can propagate it very easily if you give it the right condition. So there are a lot of ways in which you can propagate an orchid. One is you can use the stem cutting. So I have not done that because for me another method is simple, which I will tell you in some time. So stem cutting is done by cutting the stem at the node or below the node. So this is the node from where the leaves come out. So just below the nodes, if you cut the stem or choose a healthy stem like this is not very healthy, as in this is old. So choose something like this, a little green in color, a stem like this, and then cut it just below the node, and you can use either damp coco peat or damp sphagnum moss to propagate this. We are using coco peat and sphagnum moss because you cannot use potting media, because soil is not recommended for orchids like this. The ground orchid that I showed you earlier, that survives in potting medium, but this will not survive in potting medium. It needs a lot of aeration. That is why here you can see that it is growing in the ceramic pot really well. So as you know, ceramic does not allow a free flow of air into it. So, but still it is growing really well because I have stuffed a lot of coconut husks and some tiles, or you can even add charcoal to it so that these are the potting medium that the orchids really like. So if you use little bit of compost into the pot, then it will do really well as well. But do not stuff it completely with the compost because the roots might rot. So that is something that you really need to avoid. So after telling you that, now let us see how to propagate the orchid with the help of aerial roots. So the ones that you see here, the roots that you see here, which is up in the air, so these are the aerial roots. So you can take a cutting of this plant with the aerial root and you can propagate it. So it is as simple as that, or you can use a kiki. So this is a kiki. Kiki is nothing but a small orchid or a orchid sapling. So you can cut this as well and you can now propagate it. But then I will show you how to propagate it with a little bit mature orchid with aerial roots. So first you would need a knife, and then you need to sterilize it because the orchids are very susceptible to fungal infection. So if your knife or if any of these cutting tools are not sterilized properly, then you will have a lot of issues with the orchid. There'll be these black spots that come on the orchid. So to prevent all that, you need to sterilize. So to sterilize the cutting tool, you just need a cotton bud and then the isopropyl alcohol or the rubbing alcohol. You'll get it in medical stores. So just dab the cotton with it and then apply it throughout the knife. So if there are any infections or any kind of fungal or any other diseases that are present in the knife, then that will be taken care of by the isopropyl alcohol. So this is a very important step. I wanted to show you how this is done. You can also burn the knife, but I don't prefer that because isopropyl is quite environmentally friendly, so you can use it. So once you sterilize your cutting tool, you can also use a seccator, but I prefer using a knife because you can get a clean cut. So choose which plant or which part or which type of aerial plant you want to propagate. So I do not want to take this because this might flower soon, so I do not want to take that. So take out the new ones. So you see here I'm going to take this one for propagation. So I'll just bring the camera close for you to see. Yeah. So you see the roots here. So that is what we will be cutting. So do not worry, some of the roots will stay on the stem itself, on this stem itself. So you can see that it is grown out of a very old stem, right? So you don't have to worry if you lose some of the roots. So now just give it a small cut. And you see, it's so easy to get this plant for propagation. So this will be your new plant, and what you should do is you can take a container like this. So I had already taken another stem cutting or stem with roots for propagation, and see, it is already producing kikis. So it is very simple. I just want to show you that it is very simple to propagate orchids. There is no rocket science to it. You just need the right conditions for the orchid to flourish. So take this, and I will add it in the same pot with coconut husk. It has a little bit of goat manure and a little bit of compost. So it has holes here at the bottom, lot of holes. So you need well drainage, you need lot of aeration. So there's a lot of air already because I'm not covering the entire surface. It is just placed inside. I'm not covering it with anything. So this is fine. It still gets the air. And so what happens is these. So if you put barks, bark chips, or if you put all these things like coconut husks, so what happens is the root can tangle itself into the crevices of the barks or the coconut husks, and it can grow. So it is not a very fertilizer hungry plant. You can still provide it some DAP, or you can add some banana fertilizer like I told you earlier. You can add that, but the orchids do really well without a lot of fertilizing. So you don't have to worry about that. Just give it the right condition. Watering should be taken care of. Root rotting should not be allowed to happen. Good drainage and little bit of compost. You can add compost every once in a month. So that is not a hindrance. So fertilization is taken care of by putting that element of compost into the container. So this is how simple it is to propagate the orchid, and I hope that you guys will also try. And gifting an orchid to your friends or your family members on a special occasion is a wonderful thing to do, and when you get it for free, then it's even better. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like the video, then please hit the like button and also subscribe to Urbanscape Bangalore. Thank you.